Loren, where are you? If we're in the army now, you'd be in jail. You're late. So, team, we're here to do something special today. We're going to support another creator while creating something for a very important individual named Lou. Lou has just sworn not a celibacy, but a commitment to the God Squad to help others for the rest of his life as he wears their colours that haven't been granted to him yet. He's an associate. Special guy. It's important that we acknowledge his life's mission and help him go forward with something spectacular, something one of a kind. Like this guy, lady, swipe right. Swipe right twice if you need two of me. Team, what do you prefer as my background? This hellhole? Let me know in comments. What about this? Too angry? Too cynical? This one's not bad. It's a second opinion. Let me be your battle buddy in Patreon down below. Help me help others. Took this photo myself. Did you know I was a photographer? Well, self-taught. Not the best. But if you get up with the light, it just pays. Guys and girls, welcome to this Zoom video. Help me in comments as we represent the channel, each other, and humanity, and help someone else out. This is not about me. It's about someone else helping someone else. Fantastic. Start the ball rolling. Let's get to it. And welcome to this hellhole. Just so you know, team, we're also going to make a pledge to this artist today who is going to make the masterpiece. Hopefully, if she says yes, and we'll put some dinero in her account today. Not for payment for work, but to pay for supplies, to set her up so she can do more jobs in the future, giving it to fish to feed the family, so to speak. She doesn't know yet. It's going to be exciting to see her reaction. Let's go. Let's set the scene, set the pace, put a value on her art, so to speak. You're going to get excited. She's pretty good. Maybe the best. Hey, team, how we going? It is Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz here, and it has been my absolute pleasure to have Miss Loren competing with Sinaj for Hair of the Year 2022, which is better than Hair of the Dog, some would say. Mate, it is fantastic to have you here today. I'm very excited to give you some good news today, and hopefully you can reciprocate with being able to fulfill the request I have.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people won't understand at the moment that you've been in the Ed Sheeran hiatus, which means you've been creating and you've been sharing that work with me, but it wasn't my place to tell people what you've been doing, where you've been, and what you've been doing.
No, exactly. I was kind of like in a little cocoon. I do that sometimes, and then I make a lot of art.
So you were being a grub.
Yeah, I was, but now I'm probably like a moth or something.
Okay. Yeah. Like a butterfly, but different.
Probably more of a moth.
Okay. Anyway, so basically I've got a prospect for you.
Okay.
Through our conversations we've been having, and this will only go for about 10 and 15 minutes. We don't want to waste people's time. Okay. And that basically is we want to assist you in your mission to go from your transition to high-end tattooing to your home studio art. Now, you've earned this title because when I see your work, one, I cannot find a duplicate, something that is equivalent anywhere. And I've got a special project.
Okay.
That helps everyone.
It's so great. Thank you for the compliments. I absolutely love it when you love something I've done, because I know you don't just hand out compliments left, right, and center. That means an awful lot to me.
Thank you. No problems. And I appreciate that you're in a Roman's guts at the moment. It's very...
I am.
Which was the reason why I've gone with the hellhole sort of experience over here. Someone creeping out to get me. Someone white on me from the gutters. They all float down here.
We all float down here. Some of the things I've been creating have been a little bit dark, but still I'd like to think kind of beautiful at the same time.
Ultimately, I think there is too many genres for the daffodil and the frangipani. We need to change that shit up. You know, dark. Exactly. We're in dark times. You know, dark times. Let's go there. Let's go there.
Yeah, exactly.
So my pitch to you, I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and all you can do is say either yes, no, or give specifications on those.
Okay, all right.
I need a project, and I understand that none of these projects you've got at the moment, their concept
Yeah,
but I
exactly.
need one. I need a tangible project for you that you can do from home. And the
Yep.
timeline means it doesn't have to be delivered until around January. So it'd leave you 4 or 5
Okay.
months to do this project.
Yep.
It's for a special guy who has dedicated the rest of his life to helping others. At the moment, he's an associate with the God Squad. Okay.
Oh, great. Yeah.
So being people of the cloth, so to speak, and believers in spirituality, if not religious
Yep.
benefits to society, what I'd like to do is I'd like to give him a gift that he cannot find anywhere else, a one-of-a-kind gift on behalf of his brothers to him, something that, you know, he does for so many so often. So his name
Yeah.
is Lou.
Okay.
His name is Lou.
Okay.
He's a fantastic guy. He's about to turn 50 in February next year. Okay, so this is a fitting gift. He's just bought himself a Harley. He's bought his missus a Corvette. He's bought his kids
Awesome.
their education, everything that goes with it. It's time for
Yep.
him to receive. So
Yep.
I'd like you to help me to help him while helping you. And
Okay.
I would like to, one, finance it, but I also want to finance your project as we help you to help others while helping yourself.
That is actually very overwhelming and such a beautiful choice of gift too, because it's so to get something custom done, that means so much. It really does just come from the heart. And I'm I'm totally overwhelmed at the idea of you supporting me, because I already feel like you support me so much. You always encourage me. You always give me really good advice. You're always there to keep me steady if I feel like I'm getting a wobble. And especially in the last few weeks, you challenged me to try and go out of my comfort zone creatively. And just the conversations that I've had with you enabled me to create something I had never, ever even thought of creating before.
It was from a purely selfish standpoint, because at the end of the day, if you had shown me paintings of flowers, I would have been less than inspired, regardless
Yeah.
who had painted them. But when you actually show me Roman art that you
Yeah.
painted, and not just at the speed that you can paint it at, you know, and then when I tried to explain this to my friends, that this is the level of skill that Loren has, but she also turns it over in a time, because naturally with tattooing, time means money. You can't afford
Time is money.
to take 4
Yep.
weeks.
Yeah, exactly. I think the tattooing's helped me be able to be fast, but also because what I sent you are just really prototypes. You know, they're just me learning how to do something. There's stages between. So I think I'm going to be able to create something really, really special.
And that's what this is all about. I need a wow factor painting. When I
Yeah.
consider that in my life, I've grown up, whether I liked the painting or whether I didn't, paintings is something we take for granted, but we remember forever. Was it a painting that was in our grandmother's house? Was it a painting that was in our own house? Whether it was
Yep.
plain, whether it was excellent, you remember it, it stays with you. It becomes an heirloom.
Yep.
And this will be an heirloom, I'm sure, that his son will then take from him
Beautiful.
one day, and it will be a very precious item.
That is so beautiful.
So what I'm looking at is a theme. You've been painting Romans.
I have.
I know this is going to sound like this is all just what I'd like. And so I'll be
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it heaps. I love them.
I think it's the color contrast that bring me in as well. So I was thinking, you're a master at Roman red. Do you have any pictures there at all that you can?
I do. Hang on a second. Let me just see if I can find a way to share my screen again. With you. Is it up? Where is it?
That's what she said.
Oh, come on now. Okay. Oh, share screen. It's right there in front of me. What's wrong with me?
So
do you want me to figure?
The very first one you sent me was the fourth one from the left, with the Roman red there. And then from there, the one that really I found astounding, there's a couple on there I haven't seen yet, was the one that was sixth from the left. So 2 more to your right there. That one.
Oh, I love him.
Absolutely. I do so too, in an Brokeback Mountain kind of way. And I also love the one down the bottom right.
Okay, this guy.
Yeah. I love the one on the horse that's faced to the left that looks like he's on at a pub in Texas on one of those
Oh,
rodeo mechanical
this
bulls.
guy.
No, the one to the left.
Oh, him.
It looks like
Yeah.
someone's put the 40 cents in and it's time for him to ride the mechanical bull. I love it.
I love his face. I really love his face. His face is beautiful. His profile is just, it's like basically blobs of paint, but it's just somehow turned into a man.
I really love that. I also love the first one, which I'd call shaving cut, because his face is a mess.
Yeah, it gets a bit dark. It's a bit hard to separate the red, Roman red, from actual gore red. It's very, very similar, but almost like it's dried for an hour.
Can you give us a quick heads up so people understand the level of speed that you do paint at with the limited resources that you have?
Oh yeah, I've got nothing. I use the cheapest things, and I'm always running out, so I have to use what I've got. So I paint over most things. I'll do like concept drafts to teach myself how to do a particular thing, and then I'll just paint over them and use them for something else.
Okay, so comment from down below, which one do you like the most? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We've got 14 there. Which one do you like the most? And if you had a name for them, what would it be? That'd be interesting.
Oh yeah, none of them have names, except I really love this guy. I love his eye.
Yep. We do love we get a close eye on the uncanny valley of that.
Yep. Okay. So I was trying to do masculine shapes. And can you see that?
Yeah.
And there's his eye is this is all very thick. So a lot of these shadows are actually were realistic shadows. So they were actually from the hard paint. So but the eye I particularly did square and kind of milky. And I particularly like him because it was like the first one I sent you, and it was like, oh, I'm nervous to share this. Is it masculine enough?
I loved it. And it was a square eye. I didn't even realize. And then I looked, and you were telling me that on his right-hand cheek there, that's actually a revolver.
Yeah.
That you've added a modern masculine shape into an ancient painting.
Exactly. I'm just playing with masculine shapes, and I love optical illusions, and I love things when paintings have a little bit more depth, so you can stare at it for a long time and not notice something, and then all of a sudden you see it differently.
Absolutely. And people are going to look at these from a different perspective. Can we go back to the gallery quickly?
Sure.
And can you just, because this was the part that boggled me.
Okay.
When you started sending them, I thought this was months of work. Can you tell us how long it took for you basically to paint all of these with your tomato sauce and toilet brush?
Yeah, almost. Well, when did you tell me about it? We just had a casual conversation, didn't we, about Romans and how would I do a Roman?
That was a casual conversation.
It was a great conversation, and it got me thinking. And so I started the day after that. So what, maybe a week? Do you think it's a week? Because a lot of these, though, you make it sound like better than it is, because a lot of these are the same painting in different stages of progression.
Okay.
So I've captured the moment because I know it's going to disappear, because these are just concepts. So they're not very big either. So some will be on a canvas pad, and which is like just A3. Others might even be on an A4 canvas pad, which is only photocopier paper size. Others are just on a board that I've got laying around that I just keep painting over. I've done it for ages. So you make it sound a bit better than what it is, because like these two, let me give you an example. There's this one, and you can see how I've put like teeth and that in here. But he was at one stage of his life almost like a robot before I got to, oh, actually, I like this gap in here and I'm going to make that teeth. So I drop things down and build them up, and he mutates and changes. So it just, sometimes it can look a bit trickier than it is. Like this guy, who I actually really like too, but I'm playing around with eyes. Now, I don't think you've seen this version of this guy,
That's a
but
sad eye, isn't it? You can see that, his life is in his eye.
I love eyes, right? And the fact that this one is kind of I don't know, munted. And this one is almost dropped down. It's almost like he's wearing a mask, like for war.
Yep.
And so his real self is under there, slightly protected. But you can see that the mask is worn away because we are still people, really. So I've been really playing around with eyes a lot. Now, there is this guy who I prefer is the same painting at a different stage of its life. Okay. And I prefer this one because I cut out the hole in his eye and I just made it a sharp palette knife scrape.
So this is almost conceptual art, rather than give everyone 100% what's on the menu, you leave a little bit to allow them to wander deeply into
exactly
the art piece, which is why it's perfect for people like myself, because I am not an art, what would you call it? I don't know anything about art, but that makes me the person that buys the art. So I can't bullshit when I see something I like.
Exactly.
I don't care or know about the artist. All I know is what painting do I come back to in a gallery that keeps making me look at it. And these are the things that tickle my dot.
I am so glad too, because for a lot of years, I haven't done any work using photographical references and that. But with these, I sort of had to look at everything because, I was always a very girly girl. So these aren't the sort of things that I would draw. But tattooing took me out of my comfort zone to draw like biomechanical and bioorganic. So I kind of married the two, and it just really chuffed me that you like them.
Yeah, like they're absolutely perfect, and it'd be very interesting to see which one people like.
You want to have a little quick look at them?
Yeah, we can have a quick look.
Okay, well here's.
Oh, geez, that one, that's dark. Go into that eye.
They get dark. This one is actually a finished, or where I've just gone over it at the end of one that I've already sent you. So this is where they go. They end up just becoming entirely messed up.
I really like that, actually.
I like them too, like that.
So the next question for Lou is what I'm thinking is, because I always go by the mantra, different is better than good. These are different. But then it comes down to shape. We're so used to seeing exactly the same shape portrait. So square as opposed to portrait, it's up to you. I'm not going to give any guidance on that because I want the total art side of things to be your vision.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Just a couple of parameters. I've got a couple of things here that I'd like to say to you that I'd like included, because initially when we started to talk about things, I said, what do you think about words? And then I started to over-prescribe. I started to think who means the most to him, his father, his family, his dog Blacksy. And then I thought, you know what? You don't want to make things so obvious to him.
Yep.
It needs to be, how do others perceive me? And that's
exactly
what I'm training to be.
Exactly. And when you told me that he was brethren, I'm Christian, and I also know who his favorite is. It's God is his favorite. And there is passage in Peter about putting on the whole armor of God. And the passage in Peter is actually based on the soldiers Peter's talking about are Romans.
Yeah. Yep.
So I think it's going to be quite fitting.
Well, it will be. And the good thing is, because initially I was starting to go towards Crusader, but then I thought to myself, he's got a lot of Muslim friends too, and I don't want people in this modern society to feel like there's something that takes away from the beauty of it. So it made me think, I want it to be a hybrid warrior, an ancient warrior. Why do I say that? Is because he comes across like someone who would have fit in with society in the middle centuries to ancient, for his value systems, for his stoicism, for his absolute brotherhood, but also the ability that if you cross him, you are gone forever. That is like the gauntlet to the face to him if you betray him in any way. So he's no shrinking violet. He's a big boy. He's got his stories, and he's got plenty of capability. As a matter of fact, he was going to join the army with his best friend. Didn't join for reasons, whatever happened. And then his friend had an entire career in the Special Air Service. which has been a whole reminder to him of what his life would have been. So he's got us as his brothers now. So I need a hybrid warrior.
I can do hybrid.
Yeah, we've got a hybrid. I need those Roman reds in there.
Exactly. All right. Well, let me show you some. This is number 2. This is the one that's my background where he'd gotten so sort of munted. He's got an eye up in there.
I like that too.
But he almost became like a suit of armor. And I imagine if I'd continued on with him, he would have become some kind of crusader. And he's almost got this blood eagle thing happening here, you know. This guy I love because I was playing with these darker almost, I saw some Romans when I was searching for images that had this like grey gunmetal, almost blue colour.
Yep.
And they still have the red, but he's rather lovely too, but that could just be his muscles.
Well, this is true too. And I love seafood. The only thing with that image is that is such a famous image on Google. That's
exactly
the ones you can find, and I don't want him to feel like it's something he's ever seen before.
No, it won't be. That's why these are practices, and then I will be able to create something totally unique. I love this guy.
Yep.
I love him because he's rather beautiful, you know, in his own way. He's got beautiful plumes, and he's got this bizarre face. So he's actually really nice, but I actually overworked this canvas a lot and it started to get really, really tacky and thick, but he's beautiful for sure.
And he was one of my favorites. And that one there you're about to press on?
Yep. I love this guy.
Back to me as one of my favorites.
I love this guy and I love his face. I love it because it's one of the most simple faces I've ever done, but somehow it's so lovely.
Yeah. I need eyes in the photo.
Yep,
I want
I
him
understand.
to feel like he's being judged by his ancestors too, because that goes with Stoicism and what Romans used to do in their rooms of contemplation.
Exactly.
We hear today's society, don't shame this person for this, don't shame people for that. You go, well, sometimes you have to in the absence of them having self-reflection or shame. You know, it's like,
exactly.
That's a fat bastard, that one back there.
Which one?
He looks like a morbidly obese Roman.
That's actually the helmet there became munted, and there's the plume and there's things behind him, and this is the face. So it's just that darker red there, but it's also, I'm playing with textures of backgrounds because remember,
I see what it is.
Yeah, coming from tattooing, backgrounds are not something that always come easy to me.
Yeah.
Normally it would be like a standalone image, and even if it has a background, it fills parameters. Whereas with a canvas, it's like you said, it's what composition do we use?
And that's true. And that's why I want the background to talk of ancient times, potentially be that battlefield that's raging in the background. Is that possible?
I like that. Yeah, of course it is.
That shows because that'll show he's in hard times.
Yeah. Exactly. Of course it is. I actually should have sent myself I did some things to test backgrounds that aren't actually so much people or discernible things. It's more like I was trying to get a chaos in the background because I figure that's probably, you know, he's probably had to go through a lot in his life to get to the man he is now.
If you watch the movie Gladiator, the battle scene at the start with Russell Crowe,
I've never seen it.
You're going to love it. You know, the start of it will give you a hell of a lot of, it'll set the mood of what the painting sort of would feel like.
Yep. Okay.
Just because it's in a battle doesn't mean he's scared. He can still be quite calm in the face of chaos, and that's what Lou is.
Exactly. And just because everything's in chaos doesn't mean there's no order.
That's right.
Exactly.
And that's the difference between warriors and soldiers. Soldiers are paid to keep their calm in the face of defeat.
Yep. I guess that's like professionalism and that.
That's what it is. You know, that's why Australian soldiers are good, because we don't run. Right. So before we get to the meaty end of this.
Okay.
You know, because this can be one of a few ongoing videos. Because
might have to.
It sounds
and I mean,
great.
having that much time to do it in is going to be really awesome for me because it means I can do such a good job.
Now, I have no idea what the difference is between a 6-hour painting and what a 4-month, go and have a cup of tea, come back, spend 20 minutes on it, what that difference would look like. Because I understand you can probably overdo something.
You probably can because I don't know what the difference is because, to be frank with you, this is the first time in my life where my kids are all old enough and I have the space to be able to go, well, what can I do with that much time? What could I do with resources?
Well, you've got a long time now. I understand your time.
I'm so excited.
I'm glad you are. You're going to get more excited.
Hi, guys.
Release the hounds. Hey, JP.
Hey, how you going?
Very good, mate. JP, former sniper of the 2nd Battalion, Royal Australian Regiment.
Sorry, we're recording. This is Goliath.
Holy shit, that is a scary looking hound.
Oh, she's a cutie.
What about Honey?
Yeah, I've shown him Honey. He saw Honey. Yeah. All right, here's Goliath.
I love all dogs, right. Rose. Rose, show your face for a sec.
Rose.
Rose is the spawn of Loren.
Where do I look?
Up there.
The reaction video. G'day, darling. How you doing?
Hi, good. Thank
Hey.
you.
We're about to pitch something to your mum. It's good if you stay there for a sec. So basically what's happening is we understand that painting is not like doing an art project. It's bloody expensive. Okay. So what we want to do, Loren, I understand that naturally the first picture, so to speak, it's going to be something that you basically don't get to reward yourself with other than the shopping spree to go and get the supplies that will assist you beyond just this painting and allow you to do several others. So Loren's time is money. You know, if you pay someone, you know, pennies, then don't expect to get something in return. We want you to be inspired. So I'd like to set a pace, a little bit of pace, and I know that your work could be valued a lot higher. So for the cost of this understanding, we're trying to help you at the same time. We're trying to help Lou and create something as part of your next step in life. We've got 2 payments we want to make. So the first one I'd like you to accept, and I'll put it in today, $1,000 for the painting. And then there'll be 4 additional payments after that of $250 each. You know, so this will have a net worth of $2,000 to fund you in whatever you do, and you've got 4 or 5 months to do it. And I just hope that you feel like this is, although we're receiving a gift for a fantastic man, you know, we're also helping out with your vision for what you want to do, and showing you just the emotional and the spiritual side of that being a creator, it comes with costs. It definitely does. So from now on, you'll also be part of our Chiron down the bottom of our channel, which I'll have to get your BSB and account number. So if anyone would like to help me to help Loren, you don't have to help me. If you'd like to help Loren to buy a pot of paint, etc., I suggest you get a Patreon, because, you know, it's not going to.
It's happening. It's happening. It is, and I so appreciate it, because it just the experience of getting the art supplies. I love most artists enjoy the whole process of making art.
Yeah.
Including sourcing what they're going to make it with, and it just means so much. Like, thank you.
That's all right. I got the inspiration from this by listening to a podcast about Edgar Allan Poe, and then found out that he was a pauper his entire life.
Yeah.
Basically, it wasn't until he died and had a horrible life.
He did.
That his stuff took off. So let's help you while you're alive. Let's help Rose. Let's help the girls.
Thank you. Help artists stay independent. It's great.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
I spend half my time telling artists go and have a fucking bath. But I really hope that goes well. Let's comments down below.
It will.
You know, and let's do what we can to help someone, because next time it might be you. And this is not e-begging, team. There's something being for this.
Yeah, you get something for it, all right. You'll get lots. It's going to be great.
Very beautiful. Okay, and one thing, can you just explain, when you go on a shopping list, to put things actually on the shelves, so to speak, what would be the most exciting thing that you just never have enough with having a family and children that you have that you
Ooh.
feel selfish getting? What is the first thing that you think to yourself, I can get that now? What would that be?
Let me tell you, there's this, oh gosh, I always run out of black and whites,
Right.
always, and flesh tones. I always do because I use them probably because I'm self-taught. I'm an outsider, so I probably don't do things like you're meant to, but I do things in my own way. I found my own way to get it to work. And I found these Bob Ross sort of tins of oil paint once. Do you remember
I
them?
remember
They
those.
lasted me for years
Mm.
because I was so frugal with them.
Yeah.
I used to protect them with my life. But normally oil paint comes in a little tube, but these Bob Ross, the blacks and the whites, they came in a little tub, and I was so stoked
Yeah.
to find them.
Yeah. Well, and look, the shopping can be the most exciting thing, can't it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've been
That's
able to. I've been
what's
using house paint and acrylics, and
There's nothing wrong with that because art is what you use, and different is better than good.
it's just like my brain is going crazy thinking about what I can do
And it's going to be
for
very
this painting. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
going to be great.
And it's literally in the trenches because we're helping other people and helping other people. And it's like a big circle
It is.
of commitment to each other's project and
Yeah, it's like the Lion King.
brothers.
Yeah, it's the circle of life. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, make sure, team, that you subscribe. Make sure that you
Yep.
remember what goes around comes around, and it could be you we're helping next. And absolutely pleasure to bring you something different to look at. If you're listening on the TV or you're listening while you're driving, enjoy this and accept the fact
Yeah.
that this is a channel that actually does answer your comments, that does reach out to people, that hears what you say. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a real community.
Let's enjoy our second life then, Lauren. And
Yes, let's do it.
let's do it to it.
Yeah, and let's do this more often too.
Yeah, I love it. If anyone ever wants to be on a
Me
Zoom
too.
call with me, let me know. I'll record it. I'll put it up. If it means we put up 2 or 3 videos one day, then let's do that. Let's do it by batches. See ya. If you're boring,
Yeah, let's do it. Let's have fun.
Okay, bye.